Hello and welcome back to my homestead. Today is Christmas Eve morning and I like to do a lot of preparation today in the morning so I don't have to do anything tomorrow as we celebrate Christmas, and it's one of our favorite holidays in my family. So I'm going to be preparing tomorrow's breakfast, and I like to make this for my family every year. My family loves it. It's easy. While we're opening presents and having morning coffee, the breakfast is cooking on its own in the oven. I don't have to do anything. Just turn on the oven and put it in for cooking. So I need to do the prep today, and what I like to make is my bread pudding casserole. I love it. It's so easy and it's so good. So let me show you a few things that I need to put it together. And some of the ingredients are going to be optional because you can make it a simpler version, and I can tell you if it's an optional or if it's kind of like required for this recipe. And I love to make it today. It sits in the fridge, it soaks it all up, and then tomorrow is going to be very custardy and plumpy and delicious. So let's get going. So I'm going to start by buttering my dish that I'm going to be baking it in. And you guys can use any kind you want, but I have this beautiful stone casserole dish that I like to use, and it has a nice cover. So I'm going to be using that. A good friend of mine gave it to me as a gift, and I think of her every time I use it. All right, and that's where it's going to be baking. So I need bread, and you can use two different types of bread. In my case, I have brioche bread, but you may use challah bread. Challah would also work as well. And you may choose to leave them in chunks, big slices like this, but I like to cut them in chunks. And the reason why I like to cut them in chunks, because I can fit more in the casserole. So all I'm doing, I'm just cutting them into chunks, and I'm gonna throw them in here, just like this, and just throw them in here. All right, so just cut them up in big chunks. Challah works very well as well because it's a very eggy bread. There's a lot of eggs in challah bread. But this is, in my case, is brioche bread. And brioche is already sweetened bread, so it works very well. You can even use any kind of white bread, really. Once I made it with just plain white bread, and it worked just fine. It's just, I found that I needed to add a little bit more sweetness when I was serving it to my family. And tomorrow morning, while we're opening presents, drinking coffee, and eating what's stuffed in our stockings, because my husband likes to stuff them for us with chocolates. So this will be baking. So it filled up nicely, just like this, okay? All right. And now let's prepare what's gonna go into our custard. All right, it's super simple. All right. So next step is I'm gonna break the eggs. So I have 8 eggs. I know it's a lot of eggs, but my girls are laying beautiful eggs right now, and it's gonna be very eggy kind of custard for my brioche casserole. Guys, I absolutely love Christmas. I love Christmas not because of the presents, but because of everything else that comes with that. And we truly celebrate the birth of Jesus in so many different ways, and I feel like every family has their own traditions, and this is one of our traditions. So I broke 8 eggs in here, and I'm going to whisk them. I'm going to whisk them, make them nice and fluffy. I'm going to leave a description. In the description, I'm going to leave the recipe. Okay. So you guys can go down into the description box and look at this beautiful eggs already. All right. And next step, I'm going to be putting honey. If you don't have honey, you may use, you may want to use sugar or maple syrup or something else to sweeten it. But in my case, I'm going to be putting honey. And how much honey or sugar is 3/4 of a cup. 3/4 of a cup. Okay. My honey is beginning to crystallize a little bit already, but it's okay. It's a delicious home raised honey. We have our own bees, and it's a delicious honey. Okay, well, that jar was empty, so we just got a new one. And this one is, look how much darker it is. Oh, it smells so good. All right, so I'm just gonna fill up to 3/4 cup of honey. Oh my goodness, it's awesome. Mmm, so delicious. Okay, so honey is gonna go in here, and I'm gonna whisk everything together with honey. And to that, I'm gonna be adding some other things to flavor my custard. And those things are gonna be totally optional. And you guys can make a decision if you like those ingredients, you're gonna go ahead and put them in. And if you don't want them, you don't have to put them in. Okay? All the honey goes here. All right, perfect. So now I'm gonna be flavoring my my custard, and I'm gonna put a teaspoon of cinnamon. We love cinnamon in my family, but if you don't like cinnamon, you don't have to use it. Okay. Also, I'm gonna be putting just a pinch of salt, because you guys know how salt brings out the sweetness. Okay. Then I'm gonna be putting some vanilla, and you can use regular vanilla extract, whatever you guys like. And I'm going to be putting 2 teaspoons of good vanilla that I made myself. Okay. To this, I'm also going to add one more flavoring that you guys, totally optional. You don't have to put it in, but because this is going to be a holiday casserole, I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of liqueur, and you can guys make a decision if you're gonna put that or not, but I will put it in just because it's a holiday special one. Okay. All right. Also, to this, I'm gonna take 1 orange, and I'm gonna put a zest of 1 orange in here, and just the yellow part. Okay, just the yellow part to bring in nice fresh kind of aroma to that, and it does really come through very nicely in a casserole. Okay, just the yellow part of the orange. You may substitute this for a lemon or a tangerine, any citrus really will work. So it's really up to you how much you want. It comes out to be about close to a tablespoon when everything is said and done. So the zest is in, scraping all of it. Okay. The zest is in. It's gonna add a really, really nice citrusy flavor to that. Okay, so I'm gonna whisk all of that together, and the honey is beginning to melt and marry together with the eggs. But again, guys, totally this can be used sugar, not honey. But look how beautiful it is. Okay, and the next thing I'm gonna be adding is milk and cream. I'm gonna be putting 2 cups of whole milk. 2 cups of whole milk and a 1/2 cup of cream. And again, guys, if you want to use 1/2 and 1/2, you can use heavy cream. It's really up to you how much you want to use. Okay, so all of my ingredients are here. All right, here's my custard. Okay, so my custard is ready, and now I'm going to be adding frozen berries, and I have a mixture of frozen berries here. I have some blackberries, I have raspberries, and blueberries from my backyard that I have harvested in the summer, froze it, and now we're going to be using it. So I'm just going to add that to my custard, and the berries are optional. You don't have to add berries. If your family likes chocolate chips, you can put chocolate chips. If you want to put raisins, you can put raisins, or dried cranberries or something like that. And now I'm going to be pouring all of this goodness over the bread, just like this, okay? And it's going to soak up, trust me. It looks like it's a lot. Not at all. It's all going to soak up nicely, and it's going to be delicious tomorrow. The casserole needs to sit and wait till tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to bake it in preheated oven, 350 degrees, and I'm gonna bake it covered for about 40 minutes. And then I will uncover and bake another 40 minutes, maybe a little bit less. So here's the thing, because I'm using a very deep dish type of casserole, it will bake longer. But if you guys using a 9 by 13 or more shallow casserole, it will bake a little faster. So the gauge that I'm really looking for is when everything is no longer jiggly, okay, because the custard, all that eggy custard will be jiggly. When it's set, it's done, it's ready. So for me, it's gonna take about 40 minutes covered and about another 40 minutes uncovered, and it's gonna get that nice kind of like golden brown crust on top, and the inside is gonna be super soft and gooey. So friends, this is gonna be my breakfast morning for my family. I hope you guys have a blessed Christmas. I know it's been a challenging year for many of us, and I pray that you have a blessed and peaceful Christmas season. So Merry Christmas.